Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I would really love that. And if you're returning, how are you today? In today's video, I want to talk about 7 ways to deal with looters. And what's going on today, especially, with this winter storm that hit Texas and Louisiana and other states. And people are fleeing from their homes and going to hotels. Their homes are now wide open for burglars. And, I'm sure you're sitting there going, is she serious? Yeah, I am. People are the bad people, the people that are up to no good, they're regardless of situations, regardless of weather, they're keeping an eye out. And when I say looters, I'm not just talking about, mobs of looters. I'm talking about, everyday burglars and things like that. Okay. But in this video, I do want to talk about, like the mobs of looters and things like that. Okay. This is going to be like an all the time situation, especially with society today, because you just never know what the hell's going to happen or what's going to spark, another RIOT, why do I have to spell it as if I'm dealing with kindergartners? And I'm not talking about you. You know who I'm talking about. Anyway, the first way to deal with it is to learn how to control your emotions. You need to learn how to have self-discipline. Like if you're walking down the street, okay, and you see a bunch of morons running out of a Best Buy with their arms filled with TVs, now is not the time for a motivational speech. You know what I mean? Like, now kids, you know what I mean? Because that would be me. You know what I mean? I would so totally be like, the one to say, no, no, no. You know what I mean? But now is not the time, Number 2 is to, what we preppers call go gray man or gray woman, Obviously it's best to blend in as much as you possibly can. Okay. Not to stand out in a crowd at all if you possibly can, because it's better to blend in than to have hundreds of angry protesters turning on you, So, number 3 is don't go out at night. Did you ever hear of that saying, nothing good happens after midnight? My parents always said that. That's why my curfew was always 11 o'clock. I guess you could say that's why they always said that. People tend to become like more out of control, and they think that they can get away with more violent behavior and stuff like that. So unless it's an emergency, don't leave your home or your city, in the midst of chaos. All right. Number 4 is to always have your gear with you. Okay. And I'm talking like, your boomsticks, your freedom seeds, or any other forms of self-defense. Okay. Because you never know when chaos is going to erupt. Okay. And we know this and we've seen it. This past year has been nothing but chaos, right? And it's hitting different cities, but it seems to be staying more so in certain cities than anything else. So it's always just best to just be prepared at all times, honestly. But, right now, like the people that have been affected by these really terrible winter storms, like they're trying to find refuge right now, like I said, in hotels, which by the way, they're price gouging like son of a guns, you know what I mean? Which I hope, by the way, you can turn those people in those hotels in, but that's besides the point. Um, it's best to carry with you, you know what I mean? Because you are leaving your homes and going to hotels in other cities. It's always better to carry with you. You know what I'm saying? Um, but leaving your homes, you're leaving it open to burglars and stuff like that, because just because there's a winter storm happening right now, and just because the weather is very, very bad right now, doesn't mean that your house is not being watched. Okay, so keep that in mind. So if you have ways to fortify your home, do that before you leave the house. Okay, that's what I'm trying to get at, really. The fifth way is to watch the flow of the mob of looters and rioters. Now, if you're walking down the street, right, and you happen to run into these people, never try to walk against them. You want to try and go with the flow. You If you try and like walk against them, you're going to like attract way too much attention to yourself. So just keep going with the flow. You know what I mean? The sixth thing is to stay away from the leader. Now, the leader is always the loudest, the one with the megaphone, look at me, that type of thing. They're always the most vocal. They're the ones that are trying to draw the most attention to themselves. You don't want you or your family members near this person, okay? Ever. Now, the seventh thing is to always be prepared to fight back. Now, if you follow like the first 6 tips of this, you should be good, to be always, you'll be safe if you follow the first 6 tips, right? But because society today, and it's not just looters and rioters, it's just society in general, it's so unpredictable. You just never know what the hell is going to happen. Yeah, you just never friggin' know. And it's so sad that statements like this even have to be said. You just never know what the hell is going to happen. Anything can trigger anybody. Always just be prepared. Always. Because you just never know. Anyway, that's all for this video. I love you guys. Stay safe, stay warm, stay positive, keep prepping. And as always, fearless.